ahead and talk about this right now because I'm so sick of y'all talking about these older men and these younger women as if this has not been what it's been for centuries. Okay, this is what it is. Y'all talking about Karuchi, y'all talking about Dion, y'all talking about Terrence J, and forgive me, I forgot his fiance's name. Leave these people alone. This ain't got nothing to do with y'all, first and foremost. Second of all, this is people who paths y'all will never cross. What difference does it make? Third of all, these women are grown. They ain't 15, they 25, 35, 40, however old. Karuchi, ain't she approaching 40? Any older, still attractive, successful man don't want no older woman. They done told y'all this over and over, but y'all refuse to listen, and there's nothing wrong with them getting what they want. Again, this is just a preference, but y'all can't stand when a man got preferences. I'm sitting here 48 years old, as single as a 1977 penny, and as hopeless as one with a hole in it, and I still can put my feelings aside. The men done told us what they want. Why can't they want younger women?
I think she hit the nail on the head right there and said, putting her feelings aside. It's your feelings, right? It's you don't want men of that certain caliber to have their own preference, and we see that in a lot of the speech. A lot of times it's used by it's like using shame to make him seem like something's wrong with him, that he should want women that are his own age. But the thing is, right, and most men have experienced this, especially this first becomes a thing in high school. We've watched you date older men, college age men, men that we couldn't compete with in terms of resources. And that's just was part of the game. We had to accept it. There's nothing you can do about this. There's absolutely nothing you can do about this. I can't compete with a guy with a car, with a job. There's nothing. I've known a lot of women went to high school. Their boyfriends are older. As you get older now, you look back and say, all that was questionable. Even Nia Long had that interview where she described she went to prom with a guy that was outside of high school already. So this has always been normalized for us. It's just that the rabbit's got the gun now, the shoe's on the other foot. That these men, right? And we'll stick with examples of these very well-to-do men, these successful men, Deion Sanders, Sarah J, and as such. Even Leonardo DiCaprio, he's famous for this. This is just what it is. He has the chance, the ability to get his preference. The money's there, the success is there, the attention is there. So for most of us regular degular folk down here in the trenches, you don't want to understand that you may not be a man's preference, but a man is sometimes settling for you. And it's a hard thing for a lot of women to sort of accept. You may not be what he wants, but he understands that that's a pipe dream. It's a pie in the sky. I can never do that. I had a friend who recently had on a flight. He met a famous celebrity, and they struck up a conversation, and it was back and forth. And he said he already knew he couldn't afford her. He already knew he couldn't afford it. He never even got to the point, I'm going to shoot my shot. He already understood that. We get that. In order to move into that sort of territory, you need this amount of resources. These men have it, so they can get what they want. The fact is, shaming men for their preference is just not going to work anymore. Right? There's a thing where you constantly, rub against that nerve, and you deaden it. Over time, you deaden it. Well, men no longer care about that shame. Oh yeah, I want a younger woman. Okay, so what? So what? And we noticed that same type of shame is completely absent when, say, Tracy Ellis Ross says that. Now it's nuance. Now it's, well, no, this and that. Men don't care. This is not a position where you can shame the men that can get what they want into better behavior. In fact, we should probably just eliminate that altogether. The fact is, most men aren't going to be able to do this. Right? We just don't have the resources to do that. If you want to get someone that's, 20 years your junior, you probably don't have the resources to do that. Us regular people don't have the resources to do that. The desire is there, and that's the real truth is that if a man has done the right things, he becomes more successful. He ages like wine because you value men differently than men initially value women. That's just now we're just getting into sort of the nature of this, and that's the more of this, you can't shame that away. That's always going to be there. The quicker you understand it, like she does, the better off you're going to be in terms of, A, not wasting your time. when you are in season. When you're younger and it's all about you and no one has any expectation on you outside of being young, beautiful, effervescent, vibrant. That's when you can go and say, I'm gonna pick, I'm gonna pick, I'm gonna pick. You have your choice of the litter. When you play the game too long, that ability to pick based just on how you are naturally lessens. Now you need more tricks. Now you need better understanding of men. If you can treat a man better than a younger woman can, and he didn't realize these things he needs, that's how you win as you get older. But if you still try to trade on your looks, you're going to run into the same sort of wall again and again and again and again. So it's a useless sort of paradigm to chase down. I absolutely wouldn't recommend it at all. Guys, let me know what you guys think. And if you're done with like trying to be shamed for your preferences, let me know down in the comments.